The Red Sox have just locked up one of Major League's best pitchers, Garrett Crochet, for the next 6 years and will pay him $170 million. Is he going to be worth it? Absolutely! In fact, we think Crochet's deal is the best long-term pitching contract in baseball right now. Because when you stack Crochet's contract next to every other ace in the game, it looks like daylight robbery. Okay, we're back with B, the world's best baseball analyst. Hi B.
Hi Z. Lots of good news for the Red Sox in the last few days.
There sure was. We won our first series in Baltimore, and then we couldn't have asked for a better home opening series. We swept the Cardinals with some serious offensive firepower, and the team is now 6-4. Rafi's broken out of his slump, as we predicted. Abreu is on fire. Bregman is cranking out extra base hits. Campbell has stayed hot. The entire offense seems to have ignited. And most importantly, Crochet pitched 8 scoreless, dominating innings to stop our losing streak and pick up the win.
The bats seem to have woken up in a big way. 36 runs in the last 3 games. Everyone's hitting. But let's be honest, the rotation's been shaky. That's what made Crochet's phenomenal last start stand out. 8 shutout innings, total domination, and that win is what really lit the spark for this whole winning streak.
Yeah, but more important is this. 2 days before Crochet's start, Breslow emerged as the star yet again, pulling off a surprising move when he announced that the Sox had signed Crochet to a 6-year extension for $170 million. We all thought that the negotiations had stalled, had halted once the season started, but no, 1 week into the season and boom, we've got a deal. And then, just a few hours later, they announced that they had signed Christian Campbell for $60 million for 8 years. That's the kind of week that can change a franchise.
Z, it's like Craig Breslow woke up and said, Dynasty! 2 cornerstone pieces locked up. An ace shoving 8 shutout innings, Rafi smiling again, and all of Boston buzzing. This is how you launch a season.
Okay, we're here to talk about the Crochet deal specifically because I think it's the best long-term pitching contract in baseball right now. And we're here to find out why. So firstly, the deal is for 6 years, $170 million. That's an average of $28.3 million per year. It covers the period from this season through the 2031 season. There's a player opt-out after 2030. There are some injury protections and some performance bonuses also built in. Okay, so give me your overall take on this extension. Totally worth it or very risky gamble?
I would call it a calculated risk with huge upside. Let's start with the price, which reflects his ace potential. $28.3 million AAV puts Crochet just above guys like Carlos Rodon and Fried, but well below top-tier aces like Cole or Wheeler. We've locked him up from his age 25 season through his age 31 season, and he has already shown his elite stuff. So, if Crochet turns into an all-star #1 starter, like we expect him to, this could look like a bargain, especially as salaries rise. There is always risk involved, especially for pitchers. But the Red Sox baked in some protection, though, with the injury clauses included. Bottom line, he's only 25, he has elite ace stuff, and he has huge upside. So the deal is aggressive. It's bold. And it follows Breslow's philosophy. Use your prospect capital to get stars, then lock them up before the market explodes. I love the deal.
Yeah, if his last start is any indication, we're in for a treat this season and for years to come. 8 innings of shutout dominance. His heater was sitting at 97-98 all night long, and that set up his secondary pitches perfectly. He didn't give the Birds any chance through 8 innings. We couldn't have asked for a more commanding performance. True ace stuff.
Absolutely, Z. Garrett Crochet's second start wasn't just dominant, it was authoritative.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy 6 years of that. And there's also the effect he has on the entire pitching staff. He's going to go deep into games like he showed in his last start, which means the bullpen is going to get much needed rest. Also, now that he's established his role as the staff ace, it takes the pressure off everybody else. There's no burden on them every day to pitch like an ace. So that actually helps the entire pitching staff.
That's right, Z. Garrett Crochet's emergence as a true ace has a ripple effect across the entire pitching staff. Crochet isn't just your best pitcher, he's your tone setter. He preserves your bullpen, sharpens your rotation's competitive edge, and gives your whole staff a blueprint to follow. If this is what we're getting every 5th day, the Sox just found the centerpiece of their pitching identity for the next 6 years.
Okay, you mentioned that his average annual salary of $28.3 million puts him right above pitchers like Rodon and Fried. So you're right. Here's a chart that clearly shows it. Crochet's deal amongst the current list of pitcher contracts according to highest average annual salary. Ohtani, of course, is not included.
That chart really drives home just how good this deal looks right now. And he's 5 years younger than most of the names on that list.
Okay, let's do this. I'm going to go through this list and ask you whether you prefer Crochet with his new deal of $28.3 million per year or the other pitchers on this list. We'll go one by one with the pitchers that are above him on the list, all right?
Sure. That sounds like an interesting exercise. Anyone in particular you want to start with?
Okay, let's start with Corbin Burnes. He signed a $210 million contract for 6 years with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So that's an average salary of $35 million. That's almost $7 million more than Crochet.
Okay, Corbin Burnes is a good comp. Let's start by looking at their track records. Last year with the Orioles, Burnes had an impressive season, posting a 15-9 record with a 2.92 ERA and 181 strikeouts over 194.1 innings. He's also a former Cy Young winner and a 4-time All-Star. While Crochet has shown flashes of brilliance, including his recent 8-inning shutout performance, he has a more limited track record as a starter in the majors compared to Burnes. So the track record edge goes to Corbin Burnes. Looking at the risk assessment, at 30 years old, Burnes has demonstrated durability and consistency. However, his contract carries a higher financial commitment and extends into his mid-30s, which can be a concern for pitchers. Crochet is 5 years younger and with less mileage on his arm, but the risk lies in his limited experience as a starter and previous injury history. So I'd say the risk profile is about even. Coming to upside potential, Burnes is a proven ace with a Cy Young Award and multiple All-Star appearances, so he is expected to maintain high performance levels in the near term. Crochet has a high ceiling with the potential to develop into an elite starter. His recent performances indicate he could exceed expectations, making his contract a potential bargain. I'd give a slight edge here to Crochet. So, my verdict? Given the financial flexibility and potential for growth, I would lean towards Crochet in this comparison, but it's very close. While Burnes offers a proven track record and immediate impact, his higher salary and age present certain risks. Crochet, on the other hand, represents a calculated gamble with significant upside. What are your thoughts, Zee? Do you see Crochet's potential outweighing Burnes' established credentials?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think if I had to choose by total contract value, I'd take Crochet and his 6 years at 25 years old over Corbin's contract at 30 years. But for this season, it's tough. Corbin has a very proven track record. So I think if it was for just this season, I'd give a slight edge to Corbin, but slight. Okay, now's the interesting one. Garrett Cole, Tommy John surgery, $36 million, which must be feeling like a mountain around the Yankees' neck right now. So Cole won't pitch this season at all, and at least half of 2026. So how old will he be when he gets back, say in August 26?
Exactly. This is where things get very interesting. Garrett Cole turns 34 years old this September. So when he likely returns, let's say August 2026 at the earliest, he'll be almost 35 years old, coming off Tommy John surgery, with nearly 2 full years of rust to shake off. Let's do a quick side-by-side. Cole will be 35 when he returns after missing almost 2 seasons. He also has over 1,900 innings pitched, which is some major mileage on his arm. His ceiling is still high, as he was one of the best pitchers in baseball over the past few years, but there is risk of diminished velocity, command, and durability post-surgery. In comparison, Crochet is almost 10 years younger than Cole and has no mileage concerns yet. He's just entering his prime, and his ceiling is high, top 5 in the AL if he stays healthy. He's also been through Tommy John, but he is fully recovered from that and is showing ace-level stuff, velocity, and presence. So this isn't even close right now, Zee. It's Crochet by a mile. You're paying less, getting more prime years, more future value, and a pitcher who is ascending, not rehabbing. Let me ask you back. Do you think Cole ever returns to ace form after this surgery, or are we watching the beginning of the decline?
I think Cole's best years are way behind him now. Coming back from Tommy John surgery when you're 35 years old is really tough. Younger pitchers have had a hard time. Remember, Buehler struggled when he came back last year from Tommy John surgery, and he's much younger than Cole. So no, I don't think he returns to ace level again. Not at least what he used to be. His next full season will be, 2027? He'll be 35 years old then. I think regression is coming. I don't think we can expect Cy Young Cole.
You nailed it, Zee. Age and recovery don't mix well for power arms. Tommy John isn't a magic reset button, especially when you're mid-30s with nearly 2,000 innings already logged. Cole was elite. Crochet could be elite for the next 6 years, and we're paying $8 million less per year for that privilege. And let's be honest, if Cole were a free agent right now, rehabbing from Tommy John at age 33, there's no chance anyone's giving him $36 million per year. So yeah, in 2025, Crochet over Cole, no hesitation.
Okay, up next is Blake Snell, the two-time Cy Young winner who signed with the Dodgers for 5 years, $182 million. That's a $36.4 million annual salary.
Okay, comparing Garrett Crochet and Blake Snell. Snell, who will be 32 years old during the 2025 season, is a two-time Cy Young Award winner, known for his high strikeout rates and dominant performances when healthy. When we compare the two, Crochet's deal offers a lower AAV by about $8 million, providing the Red Sox with more payroll flexibility. Crochet is also 7 years younger than Snell, suggesting a potentially longer prime ahead. Both have had injuries. Snell has faced various issues over his career, while Crochet underwent Tommy John surgery in 2022, but showed resilience in his 2024 comeback. Considering the age advantage, lower financial commitment, and recent performance trajectory, Garrett Crochet appears to be the more favorable option for the Red Sox moving forward. His potential to develop into a top-tier starter aligns well with the team's long-term plans.
All right, how about Jacob deGrom, who signed with the Rangers for $37 million per year? At one time, he was the best pitcher in baseball outright, no questions asked. He's getting old and he has missed substantial time due to injury, but he can still be dominant when he pitches. He pitched pretty well against the Sox, shutting us out in Texas for the opening series.
The comparison between Garrett Crochet and Jacob deGrom comes down to age. deGrom's track record is phenomenal. He won 2 consecutive Cy Young Awards, led the league in strikeouts multiple times, and has the lowest career whip and the second lowest earned run average of any starting pitcher in the live ball era. So Crochet obviously can't match up to that track record. Crochet is coming off a strong 2024 season, and being 11 years younger than deGrom suggests a potentially longer prime ahead. Both pitchers have undergone Tommy John surgery. However, deGrom's age may raise more concerns about his durability. Crochet's deal, however, offers a lower average salary by approximately $8.7 million per year, providing the Red Sox with more payroll flexibility. So, considering the age advantage, lower annual salary, and longer-term payoff, the Crochet deal is more beneficial for the Red Sox.
Nice. Now let's do one final one. Zach Wheeler, who signed a 3-year extension with the Phillies worth $126 million. That average comes to $42 million annually. So he's the highest paid pitcher by annual salary. That's not named Shohei Ohtani, of course. What is your take on Wheeler against Crochet?
Okay, let's compare Garrett Crochet with Zach Wheeler, the Phillies ace who has an established track record of excellence. Last year, Zach Wheeler posted a 2.57 ERA over 200 innings with 224 strikeouts, finishing as the National League Cy Young runner-up. He is poised for a big 2025 with 2 dominating starts already this season. Wheeler will be 35 this May and has a relatively clean injury history in recent years, contributing to his consistent performance. Crochet is 9 years younger than Wheeler, suggesting a longer potential prime ahead, and his contract offers a lower average annual value by a big margin, over $13 million per year, so that's a big difference. Again, if you consider the age advantage, substantially lower annual salary, and his prime ahead, Crochet's deal is more favorable for the Red Sox. However, Zach Wheeler offers proven elite performance in the immediate term, making him a valuable asset for a team seeking immediate impact.
Okay, so long-term contract-wise, you prefer Crochet to every other pitcher on that list. And if we were looking purely for this season, then maybe you prefer Burns and Wheeler over Crochet, but that's it?
Exactly, Z. Well put. Breslow just placed a calculated bet on elite upside at a still manageable salary, and he might have just bought a Cy Young contender at a discount. Here's how I'd break it down. For the long term, Crochet is the clear winner over everyone on that list. He's 25 years old. You're getting 6 prime years for $170 million, while other teams are paying $35 to $42 million per year for pitchers who are already 30-plus and much closer to the decline phase. His upside is ace-level stuff, and you've locked it in at a sub-ace price. So yes, in terms of contract value and long-term upside, I'd take Crochet over every one of them. In the short term, like if you asked me who I'd want on the mound in Game 1 of the World Series this year, here's the honest ranking. Number 1, Wheeler. Proven, elite, durable, already dominant in 2025. Number 2, Burns. Track record of consistency and dominance. Could anchor any staff. And number 3, Crochet. He's third on my list already. That's how good he looks. Then come guys like Snell and Fried. So yeah, Crochet is already top 3 for 2025. And long term, he's the best investment in the league outside of Shohei. Would love to flip the question to you. Do you think Crochet's the best long-term pitching contract in MLB right now?
I think so. From your analysis, it's pretty obvious that Crochet's contract is the best long-term pitching contract in the game right now. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, Z. I'll say it again. Garrett Crochet has the best long-term pitching contract in Major League Baseball right now.
Here's the thing. When Cole signed his $36 million contract, that was the ceiling. But Wheeler's now at $42 million. Ohtani is rewriting the rule book. So we're entering a new era. The way the salaries are trending right now, I wouldn't be surprised if like in a couple of years, the annual average salary for an ace level pitcher is like $50+ million a year. So locking down a 25-year-old lefty through till 2030-31 at $28 million per year will be seen as the biggest steal ever.
Honestly, I'm with you. This deal feels like the kind of move you look back on in 3 years and go, wait, we locked up an ace for how much? And you are right about escalating salaries. Think about this. If Crochet posts, say, a 3.20 ERA across 180+ innings with elite strikeouts over the next 2 years, he'd hit free agency after next season without this extension at age 27. And in that market, you're probably talking $300 to $400 million over 8 to 10 years, minimum. Breslow just locked that version of Crochet down 2 years early, saved about $200 million, and got potential surplus value every single year. And here's the kicker. He did it before Crochet hit the national spotlight, before Crochet takes the mound at Fenway for the first time, before we even see what he looks like with 30 starts under his belt. That's vision, that's conviction, that's Craig Breslow ball. And if you're building a contender, this is exactly how you do it. Take smart, high upside swings before the rest of the league catches up. The Red Sox didn't just find an ace, they might have landed a future Cy Young. Do you think he's going to finish as a top 5 Cy Young candidate this year? Or is that still too early to say?
That's just way too early to predict. I'd like to believe that he's going to win one. All of Red Sox Nation hopes that he's going to win one. But we'll save that discussion for another day.
Totally fair, Z. It's April 3rd. We've seen 2 starts. Let's not hand out hardware just yet. But here's the exciting part. For the first time in years, the Red Sox have a true ace-caliber arm. And they have him under control through 2030.
Yeah, imagine we just signed Chris Sale, but when he was 25 years old, and now we have him for 6 more years. Good times ahead.
Exactly, that's the perfect comp. 25-year-old Chris Sale with a fresh arm and no mileage. That's exactly what Garrett Crochet feels like right now. Same power lefty presence, same wipeout fastball slider combo, same ability to completely overwhelm hitters when he's locked in. Only difference? The Sox are getting Crochet at the beginning of his arc, not at the tail end of someone else's prime. That's the Craig Breslow difference. And if this kid stays healthy, we didn't just sign a frontline starter, we signed a franchise-altering weapon. Fenway hasn't had this kind of a must-watch arm since the days of Pedro and Sale.
I agree. Anything else you want to add here?
Just this. This isn't a flash-in-the-pan prospect. This isn't a pricey rental. This is a power lefty with swing and miss stuff. That's the kind of pitcher that shifts the entire ceiling of a team. We can hold off on the Cy Young talk. But if this is the version of Crochet we're getting, Red Sox fans are going to love tuning in every 5th day.
Yeah, baby. So see you around soon. Until next time.
Stay tuned, stay crazy.